Thank you, Greg.
Why, I imagine if you was half as pretty as your voice, then you were the prettiest woman in the city.
Aren't you the gentleman?
I imagine you a lot, Deb. Like I said, I'm all by myself, and it does get lonely. Sometimes a man can't help himself, especially when I hear you. It's like your hair straddling my...
Greg, there's a little thing called too much information. Caller, you're whiling away the evening with the Deb of Night.
Good evening, Deb.
Yes, I think that's implied by the title of the show.
Do you ever worry, Deb, that the world is going to end?
I haven't felt that way since Brad Pitt got married.
Do you have any idea how insignificant you are? When they start devouring the world, you will be but a blood stain on their capes.
I bet you say that to all the girls.
There is a red star in the night sky. The blood of mortals and the blood of ages, all will be consumed. They are coming. These are the final nights.
Okay, well, good luck in the next election, Senator.
Alright, so, other than vampires calling in anonymous tips about the end of the world to a radio talk show, this appears to be a good night. This is Buttkiss back with more Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Last time, I streamed for close to 5 hours. Finished downtown, pretty much, I think, and am going to move on to Hollywood, or at the very least, do that thing the Prince wanted me to do in Hollywood, which is find the missing Malkavian primogen. Grout, I believe. Given how often I got lost, I probably should have came in and at least found the taxi before starting to stream, but I don't make good decisions, as proven by my low humanity while trying to have high humanity. You know, yeah.
Going somewhere?
For now, just drive. There.
You. What are you doing here?
Oh, I was just in the neighborhood. How about you?
No.
That wasn't really a yes or no question, buddy.
You should get out of here. This place is bad news. Pardon me.
Huh? That wasn't quite right. Shapeshifter. I don't remember if I'm right, but it makes sense. You're mean, right? Knife. Yep. Alright, so anyone who looks crazy in here probably gonna try and kill me. That's not attractive at all. Blood gurgling, eating people. Yuck. Should I even try to be stealthy? Probably not. Let's refill whatever I just lost. I don't really like killing people like this, so... I mean, I just did, but... It seems a bit too easy, combat-wise.
It is quite peculiar, the happenings I've been made to witness for my supernatural longevity. I am thinking of one unfortunate phenomenon in particular, of unique interest to my station, both as a professional and as a sufferer of this vampiric condition. It seems the stream of time has begun to erode the moorings of my chosen course of study, for the methodologies that gave birth to psychology are slowly disappearing. I find myself in an era that overlooks the physical component of psychological pathology time and again in favor of the sophistic practices of Freud. Phrenology, dactopintilism, and the rest of the old guard has fallen by the wayside, its champions all silenced in death, with my unique exception. Would that I could make my voice heard again, although it may be suspicious should I return to popular medical discourse 50 years after my apparent death. No, better that I continue my studies into the psychoses in secret. One day, may I hold up my own cure as validation of the methods. I am confident no cure for my condition, or that of my beloved wife, lies within our figurative minds, waiting to be unlocked by the correct combination of memories recovered from our childhoods. And I'm most certain it has nothing to do with the relationship between myself, my parents, and my genitals. Sorry, Sigmund, but I choose to stay my course. In time, too, may your star fade and disappear.
Okay, interesting. So I'm probably going to be finding these all over the place, like right here.
Another unfortunate casualty to tide of time, insane asylums. I lament their loss not only as brokerage houses for the breadth and depth of human psychoses, but also I shall mourn the disappearance of that peculiar environment present only in an insane asylum. That palpable atmosphere of blistered brains and churning bowels, the odoriferous melange of freely flowing bodily humors, that gently rolling cacophony of distant sobs and screams, the muttered cursing at perceived enemies, and the blissful gurgling of the lobotomized, like a newborn babe discovering the sky. I shall still find test subjects as surely as I find bloody sustenance in the night, but this climate, I fear, may never be replicated.
Okay, after I was done listening, I was gonna chop this guy to pieces and figure out the puzzle, but apparently I can, he probably helped me solve the puzzle, so he lives. Huh. Yeah, I know where I can buy cheap games and make money with them too, Zeldai Chunder. It's called virus.com. I mean, HTTP, not a virus. What did that open up? Eh. Okay. Apparently you do have to die then, buddy. Sorry. Oh, nope. This just wasn't one opened up. Okay. Maybe it closed because he kept on pressing the thing. Maybe it wasn't in this room. Yeah, I think I saw a door open, not a hatch open. So maybe through here? Yeah, this is different. No, don't notice this. Stop noticing it. Am I hurting from this? I am. Jerk. Fireballs. Oh, you actually line on fire. Why don't vampires line on fire? These aren't vampires. I can drink from them. But yeah, I saw on one of the hints came up on the loading screen that lethality determines how effective it is on vampires. And I was looking on my weapons, and the fire axe has a better lethality than the torch. Yeah. They have the same damage potential though, but the fire axe is overall better. I'm so glad I found this thing in that elevator. Someone probably sells it a bit later on, but... Aha! That's gonna be thing here. Things on the walls, pull them to find out what they do later. What's up with the crazy people?
Often I reflect with great regret on the missed opportunity that was my infector. Had I been conscious after the attack, I could have stopped the orderlies from locking her in the roaming pen. What I would give for just one interview, a few simple questions of the plague-ridden woman who met her end that dawn. Of course, there is no guarantee she would have been any more helpful than my current crop of test subjects, mewling wretches. Few could be called enthusiastic. Given the nature of the tests, I cannot expect the same fervor from all, but a modicum of cooperation would be appreciated. Animals. The one called John went so far as to gnaw off his arm and escape into the floorboards like some feral rodent. I still hear him scurrying about at night. He must be making an atrocious mess. My studies proceed at a languid pace. I'm mired in a foul ennui as my wife's illness advances. My subjects grow restless without proper supervision, but I cannot pull myself back from this black depression. How many nights I've wasted now, gazing from the tower walk, pondering the frailty of existence.
So is this your tower walk? It's pretty, although I'm not too practical how the hardwood flooring is in the elements. Is that hardwood? Probably not. Maybe it's more like deck wood. Yeah. Much better. These guys seem to have awkward stealth boxes. Or it's awkward to hit them with stealth attacks. Although at least they're crazy and, you know, staring in a corner. This guy expresses a interest in insane asylums, so I guess that explains the crazies. Ow. maybe these are his ghouls. Yeah, these are probably his ghouls. He's a Malkavian, and they're crazy, as proven by Jeanette and Therese being the same person. I've been here. Maybe their ghouls just go insane too. Been there too. Yeah, that makes more sense. I'm going with that.
After decades of solitary study into this affliction, I have learned that it is by no means mine alone. Indeed, the city is home to an entire society of similarly afflicted individuals with whom I've only recently made contact. They are an understandably standoffish sort, by and large, but I have been able to confirm with them that the condition is indeed vampirism, which apparently comes in a multitude of strains, each with a spectacular set of symptoms such as invisibility and even a sort of lycanthropy. Through numerous official interactions with the governing body of this secret society, I have concluded that their fundamental understanding of the vampiric condition is woefully lacking and mired in suspicion and pseudo-religious dogma that would make a Turk balk for its strictures. Indeed, they seemed impressed with my studies and the eloquence with which I was able to present them. Apparently, the typical sufferer of my particular strain of vampirism is far from the vanguard of the King's English. So impressed were they that they even offered me an office in their government, a rather high office by the sound of things. I believe I shall accept. If nothing else, it should provide a lofty vantage point from which to observe the breadth and epidemiology of the affliction, so that I may move more expeditiously toward a cure.
I thought that was just a mirror. A broken mirror that I could just... They were just reflected even though they'd already died. I mean, for a second. Pieced it together. After, you know, going back and realizing this was the only way to go. That's a cool effect, though. Oh, I know this place. This was the place where I thought that, yeah, that this was what opened, even though it was clearly a door being opened. Oh, one of these. No guy in the middle this time do it for me. Chaos, like the mind, can be understood only through the scientific process. Order, however, is only as good as the perception thereof. Time is the key that links the two and bears witness to their ebb and flow. Key. Order. Chaos, like the mind, scientific process. Time is the key. Order, only as good as the perception thereof.
I have accepted the role of Primogen for Clan Malkavian, the dreadfully winsome label applied to the particular strain of vampirism I suffer, so named for some supposed vampire father figure of old, or poppycock grown from a backward culture that seems interminably drawn to children's tales and the fiction of Victorian romance, when it should concern itself with the science behind their suffering. No matter. For I have taken this office for no greater reason than to advance my research. I must make mention, however, that even among my would-be peers in this governing body of vampires, the level of paranoia and superstition is frightening. Their intelligence is not the question, no, indeed. As they courted me for this appointment, I had to suspect that their overtures were hand-tailored to what must be my obvious infatuation with reason, for the devil would do well to have such honey-tongued tempters. Even so, I could not help but notice the dressing of language these vampire leaders chose for their siren song. Whether it is born of habit, from addressing their unwashed, ill-educated subjects, or from their own deep-seated beliefs, their linguistic flourishes belie a faith in superstition over the providence of empirical reason that must be an all-pervasive theme in this society of darkest night. Damn it all, now I'm doing it too.
I actually meant to press the S key. Although, I was going to try doing that after I saved.